the stage your IT man in the house, Aaron Patton.
I've been told I need to look at the audience more, get people more comfortable. Is this working for you? You know what I trust about as far as you can throw? Babies. Babies are nature's tiniest sociopaths. A baby will do things to you that even your cat thinks is over the line. Your cat's like, well, dude, I wake you up at 4 a.m., but not by peeing on you. That's why your parents encourage you to have children, because they hate you. I understand why people have dogs, because when you have a dog and you mess up, you're not worried that your dog is going to grow up and murder people and wear their faces as masks. The dog's just fine. And if you screw up with a dog, in 7 years it's dead. And you're just like, well, I guess that was the practice dog. We'll get a new dog. It'll be fine. So, when I found out I was having a son, I thought I should probably get some training because my practice dog didn't turn out very well. So I took 2 days of courses where they told me that everything that I do as a parent will probably end in my son's demise. Did you know that you can put a child to sleep wrong? Like, I don't mean like accidentally putting him in the microwave instead of a crib. I mean, you can put him in his crib wrong. Like, they just turn off if you don't do it right. I couldn't even figure out how a condom worked, and now I'm in charge of a tiny little life that can expire if I put him to sleep the wrong way. So, I'm from a small town, and people will ask me, they're like, because Vancouver's so expensive, do you want to raise your son in a small town? And I'm like, well, I'm from Quesnel, and the reason I pay $3,200 a month rent to live in Vancouver is so I don't have to live in Quesnel. It's completely different. They don't view education the same way. So, because, let's try that again. They don't view education the same way because they assume when you're growing up in Quesnel that you're either going to work at the mill or sell meth to people who work at the mill. So, my grammar's terrible, but I know how to hypnotize a chicken. We had a class called agriculture, except for the only part of agriculture you learned was murdering animals. It was like introduction to serial killing. And there's a weird phenomenon of small town strippers. I'm not saying that strippers make poor life choices than, let's say, comedians, because if you do either long enough, you're going to end up in Quesnel. When I was 18, my mother took me to see my first stripper, which is everything. It's true, and that's everything you need to know about my family. And so when I went, I had sort of expected the stripper would be closer to my age than my mother's. And as I sat there watching a 50-year-old woman naked doing the splits, I thought, I really need to go back to school. There's also, in Quesnel, it has a really high murder rate, which is weird, not because it's a small town, but because you have to drive really far to find somebody to murder. Steve, you're dead. When I get over to your place. And then you have to hope that in the 45 minutes it takes you to get there, he doesn't just like leave. And you drive way out. You got to remember what tree you turn at to get to his property. And open up his gate. Step across the cattle guard, or you got to close the gate because you're a murderer, but you don't want to let his pigs out. And then finally you're like, hey, Steve, I strongly disagree with your statements on free market socialist values. Or, I don't know, I've never murdered anyone. And then I assume something about meth. Bang! Thank you very much.
Give it up for Aaron Patton. Everybody has a secret life, don't they?